I tore up one tell you what happened, we were over in Germany, and we stayed with my cousin, staying in his house. He had a big basement, and had the bedroom, everything. It was nice. His basement was faster than my house, but anyway, I was down there, we'd been out and got all polluted up on that German beer and all, and come in, and Deborah's already on the room down in the basement, so I went down there, and I finally done, I said, you gotta help me get my boots off. I had kept foot boots on, as soon as she got them off, I said, God, there's a bathroom down here, I gotta go. And she went in there, and she still set me in front of it, she set me to the side of it, you know, and I kept on wrestling. So finally I just got a big heave, and this porcelain and everything went flying.
Oh, no.
You know, if she set me in front of it, I couldn't ride. She said, I was so drunk, I didn't realize I was at the side of it. And I told her that come over there, I know what damage she started too.
Did you pay for it?
I told her, I said, let me know, I said, check Texas. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
About 1980, I was about 30 years old, didn't have any better sense.
6 o'clock, call this meeting of the Lone Star Economic Development Board to order, February the 5th, 2018. Number 2, consent items, minutes of regular meeting on January the 8th, 2018. If you'll turn to page 3, you'll see that. Any questions for discussion?
I just would like to make a
There's
point,
Felipe.
make a statement. During that, one of the action items in regards to reimbursement to a board member, I voted yes, but I was wrong in my vote. And that from now on, it should be that any monies that is needs to be paid or reimbursed, it should just go directly to the contractor that did it and not via through a board member, because I won't vote yes for that again. I just wanted that on record.
I would like to make a couple of comment about that. That money was dispersed to me to reimburse Tommy Qualls for a traffic survey that we did. People can't wait the time. You're not going to get anybody to do work like that unless you can get them a check within a fairly short period of time. I will not be doing that again.
We just have
It
to
just
follow,
ethically, it just. it's
I understand.
Right.
I understand.
we just have to follow protocol.
But people can't wait 30 days for their money. I mean, so we've got to figure out a way to, if we hire somebody like that to do a service or provide a service, we got to get them their money faster than we do.
But we just have to follow the
I
proper
understand.
channels from
I
this point
have
forward.
been reprimanded,
So be it.
so be it.
So, did you make a motion to approve?
No, I didn't.
Okay, I'll make a motion, we approve the minutes in here.
And I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. What is this? Item number 3, financial reports for December of 2017. Oh, I'm on the wrong page, excuse me.
No, you're not.
It'd be better to get my glasses on because I can't read.
No, you're reading.
No, I got some left of me.
But you're in the right spot.
Item number 3, financial reports for January of 2018, excuse me. Any questions?
Yeah, what are the attorney's fees for $200?
That was on
The charter?
Oh,
the Articles of Incorporation, the new version of that.
Okay,
He
by the
had done
way,
some
had
research
Carl
on that.
talked to you about that or anybody? Because I did speak with Ruth. She never did have that signed by whoever needs to sign it down, or send, she didn't register it with the
Right.
state, but it is signed. It should be on your computer. Because they had to get that in order to be able to, before they could start collecting a 0.5% tax. She filed it with the state comptroller's
No,
office.
she did not follow.
Well,
Are
we
we
would have been
getting-
able to collect the 0.5%.
I
Have
don't
you
know
talked
what-
to her?
She talked to me about it before she did that.
Well, she said she was gonna call you, but then we had, Randy, the mayor, came in and she talked with him, and then Carl had to come in. And she mentioned to him, so I didn't know if you, I haven't had the chance to talk to you about it, and so I guess you figured after she spoke with the mayor that he probably would have relayed that information to you, but she said it should be, there's a signed copy that's probably in the file box, but there, it should be on your computer if you're using the same computer with the same software.
I'll have to check.
I'll get.
So
rid of
you're
the copy.
saying that the city could not receive, the
You
board
could
could not
receive the
receive
0.5% sales
without
tax
it
had
being
it not
filed.
been registered with
Registered
the
with the
state
state.
comptroller's office.
And that sounds
I think it
reasonable.
needed to go to the attorney, wherever else it's supposed to go for
Secretary of
completion.
State.
Secretary of State, she didn't send it off.
So what,
That's the only
so
thing.
what you're saying is that the board is legal,
Yes.
we just need to find the paperwork.
Well, we haven't filed that, and there may be this file of completion of certificate, which is part of this, other that you're talking about, you know.
She'll remember where she put it, so.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I'm confused. Are
You
we
have,
legal?
you do articles of
Are we
incorporation.
legal
Yes,
or not?
to collect the 0.5%
Okay.
sales tax, yes.
So
They got
my
sent to
last
the
question
comptroller.
was,
But it
then-
needed, that articles of incorporation that is signed needed to be filed with the
Secretary of State.
Secretary of State. It was filed with the comptroller in order to, you wouldn't be able to start collecting the 0.5% sales tax until that had been done, but there was also another related to that.
We
But
need to take
Sandy,
a few
you're
more
s-
steps.
huh?
We need to take a few more steps,
Yeah.
and we need to.
We gotta find we gotta find the paperwork.
We need to do an update maybe to some of our practices, which should change a little.
Okay?
Oh, her.
Okay.
So.
I mean, I don't wanna sit here as a board and make decisions that are not binding by law.
So I'll move that we approve, since everybody's had their questions answered, the monthly report
Financial.
as, financial report as presented.
You second?
I second.
Felipe seconds. All those in favor? I would like to put that on next month's agenda for a further discussion about those items and look at them if we found them. And if not, what do we do about not being able to find them, for lack of
Just resubmit,
a,
Yeah.
just resubmit.
And I believe Devin has, she already knows the forms to fill out.
is this letter of information,
Well, certificate of completion
is
what
this
she
the
was talking about.
$7,500 that they were
Yeah.
I
estimated?
didn't, what I was saying.
Wait a minute,
Think it
we
through.
probably don't need to be discussing this because it's not on the
Yeah.
agenda. but-
Yeah, so.
And I know it's not on the agenda, but
But
let
that
me,
deeply disturbs me.
can I speak as just a council member right quick? Because Randy had asked me to, as the mayor, he said that he wanted to be here tonight, but he could not. But he just wanted to say that as the council, he just supports the Economic Development Board and with our decision to move forward with any of our projects, and he was sorry that he could not be here tonight.
Okay?
But he is in full support of the Economic Development Board. And
Would you put that on the agenda for next month for a discussion? And if you find those, please let me know. Okay, non-action items. I want to apologize to the board for my behavior last month. I let my emotions get the better of me, and there was a lot of frustration. I had been contacted by one individual, and it got real heated about what was reportedly said at the December the 6th meeting. But I apologize to this board for my behavior. Also apologize to the councilman, Mr. Hart and Cody, okay? That's not to say that I am not, well, leave it at that, I apologize. Item 4-1. Ms. Cox will provide an update on possible projects, investments in Lone Star by Bob Hawkins. There's Rudy.
Hey. Sorry, I'm late.
Come in.
Sorry.
it's okay. We'll take late.
We're on item 4-1, Rudy.
Thank you, sir.
I visited with Mr. Hawkins about 4:30 this afternoon. And received an update from him. He has not totally given up on the project that we've been working with him. Okay?
Now, this is the shopping center project we're
Yes.
talking about? Okay.
Yes. It still has a little bit of life in it. What he is moving towards is a truck stop with fueling capacity. Okay? He has visited with an oil company, and they are supposed to be calling me to come down for a tour of the city and the area. And they are very interested in trying to put something together. And at this point, I'll leave it at that. It's not completely dead, but they are working on it, okay? I would like to invite Mr. Nunez to the March meeting, if you can. Okay?
So the chicken deal is
It's not dead, but it's
floundering.
probably on life support, but they are, the parties involved, Mr. Hawkins and his people up in the Dallas area are really seriously looking at a fueling facility for diesel trucks, okay? Probably better invite Chris Spencer here too. Any questions on 4-1? All right, we'll move on to 4-2. Mitch Cox will explain to the board that he is providing a survey to all city department heads, board members, council, it'll do council, asking what needs they have and what projects they would like to see done in Lone Star. This is a response to our visit with Mrs. Williamson last month about the possibility of applying for grants. And she wants to know what we need, what we want, and the best way to do it is you will be given a packet, and it's just a little survey. It'll have places for about 5 of your concerns, needs, what you think we want. This board will get it, the council will get it, all department heads in the city will get a copy of it. And then we will look at those next board meeting. And then, of course, we'll go to the council for further discussion. I'm hoping that we get some very pointed needs for the city, okay? One of the questions that was asked Ms. Williamson, does it apply to the fire department? Does it apply to the streets and things like that? So it's a starting point to find out what we need, what we want. And I'll leave those envelopes at the city offices over there. I'll have them ready sometime this week. And we will discuss it at the March meeting. I might put that on the list too. Any questions about that? Okay, we'll move on to action items. 5-1, review, discussion, possible action with the board regarding a request by board member Sandy Duke for the board to contribute to the city's match of the Texas Parks and Wildlife Boat Ramp Grant. Sandy, would you make some comments about that?
Well, I understand that the economic development has already, I believe I was told that you guys voted a long time before I was on the board. What was it, 10,000? What is the matching grant? Is it 30?
The state's match?
No, our match.
The total difference.
In other words, the
is
city
50,000.
We have to
receiving
come
a
up with
grant to redo the
30,000 or
park or
25.
the boat ramp. Do we have to, what I think our question is, is there a matching part of that from the city or the Economic Development Board? This was before my time too.
Yeah, it was a $200,000 project essentially, and $150,000 of it was grant. And the match was $50,000.
Was that what, 50?
Huh?
50,000?
50,000.
50,000 was the
That's what we've
match.
gotta come up with.
Okay,
And part of
I
that
thought
can
it
be
was
done-
25 and 30.
It can be done in kind too.
In kind, right.
Carl, you
Kind meetings,
apparently
so
are the
go
most
down there and-
informed person on this project. Tell me what's going on.
Well, what all is involved in that grant? What it besides?
It's to take out the existing boat ramp
Okay.
and to replace it with another boat ramp.
Longer one maybe?
That one is actually longer than you think. It just happens to be two of them there with a gap, a 5-foot gap in between.
Okay.
And it's a big gap. I
Yeah.
backed my
And
barge
it's-
off in it.
It's a big
And
hole
tore the
gap.
trailer up and had to repair the trailer.
But also to replace the existing boat dock with another dock. That thing is in pretty sad shape also.
That has nothing to do with the swimming area.
No.
No, just that.
No money
one.
will be spent on the swimming area.
No, nothing
Just
on
the boat.
swimming, just the boating area.
Was that also gonna include like a sprayer to spray your, you talked about that at one time, to wash off your boat and trailer?
We can probably get that as another thing, but we don't have to do it there. It probably, I think would probably be better not to wash your boat off right by the water, but, you know, wash it off not on the top of the hill, but up closer to the volleyball things and stuff like that. So if you do wash a mussel or something like that,
Well, I think that's potential for problems there. Because, I mean, who's gonna wash it off, then who's gonna lay the water right in there? And all that kind of
Is
stuff.
it-
was
There's
just-
somebody
that's
there to
something that-
supervise over us
no.
to wash the boats, is what I
Yeah.
think.
Is that a Texas Parks and Wildlife
Initiative.
requirement that
No.
you have to provide a wash
No.
facility?
No.
No,
They can care less.
You just
Oh,
don't
no,
want
they
to
would-
get caught with any invasive plant on your
they would
boat.
They would
You're
like
fine.
us very much to, because
Yeah.
there's a big problem with what they call hitchhikers, you know,
Mm-hmm.
carrying invasive species of plants or animals to other places. And ours is pretty clean, so they're probably not taking much out of ours, but, you know, they could be bringing stuff in. And
So
so,
I haven't been out on the lake, but I saw a report the other day, last week, on a Caddo Lake. And they said this freeze, this deep freeze we had's done more to control and kill that stuff.
The
They
giant.
didn't
South
spray or
Indian.
anything, I just wondered, is it had any effect on our lake, or do you know?
yes, the cold has certainly been helping out in the reduction of the various plant lice that we don't like.
Is there,
So how much money's total is it required for the match?
Probably about it.
50,000?
$50,000.
Did we already dedicate 10?
We already put in 10. We put in 10 initially.
I can't tell you how much the Economic Development Council has put in
We put in 10
off the
initially.
top of my head. I think we put in 10 initially, I think we put in another 10.
Oh,
But I know we put in
Put that
10,
much in already?
I know we put in 10 initially.
Right. I think we put in 10 initially, and then we put in 10
Well, I
more.
know there was discussion that the county at one point may or would have, and I put in a call to Mr. Lilly today, and I haven't received a call back yet, that they would possibly at one time would have tore all that out, and that would have been our matching that you were talking about in kind.
Yeah, and we talked about
And-
tearing down the pier part too, you
Right.
know, as part of our match, which we could do.
Right.
We can loan them our backhoe and charge them $75 an hour for it.
is the grant still available?
Yes.
Is there a
I just,
time
I
limit?
don't know.
There it is. We're to the point of just
We need to
basically
do something.
go out for bid. And where it's at.
Can we even do it with the lake levels where they're at? You
Uh,
can't extend that,
They got a dam around
Put
that.
Part of it is to put a coffer
Coffer
They
dam
don't dam
there.
around it.
Take the coffer down.
And it
Yeah.
sucked the water One of my suggestions, and there may be a lot of people that use the lake and use that boat ramp that may not, would like this idea, and then others that might. And I was thinking for future projects and maintenance, we've got to look down the road. And I was going to suggest that perhaps maybe the council might consider charging a boat ramp fee for launching and coming in and out, $20 a year. Just have
1 year
not-
permit.
Or, you know, whatever, they can make it whatever the price. Not everybody is probably gonna, but we could put a sign coming and going, in and out, that it is a permitted, you know, we're putting money out into it, okay? So what do we do to maintain it for the future?
Well,
We
on
get
Lake
another
of the
grant,
Pines,
you know, when they
they
find out you
charge,
go over
that's-
Jenkins and launch it for free, where
That's
everybody's
fine,
right now, they're not
that's
gonna,
fine,
they're
let
not
them
gonna
go
pay
ahead and do
$20
that,
a
then
year.
that's less wear and tear on that boat ramp. It's just a suggestion.
Yeah,
My
I-
thing is
I
that
don't
money
think
can
it
be
applies.
put in a park fund, and it can be used for maintenance or for other park projects
We
later
would
on.
have to check the language on the grant.
Yeah.
And as long as that money is used for the maintenance of that ramp in the area.
It's open to the public.
How do you
might,
collect?
you might exempt people from
Well, it's just
SAR.
like at the high schools, let's say, you know, in order to get, if you're, you know, academically involved, or if you got a privilege to drive for $5 a year, you gotta buy a permit. It's on your vehicle, on your truck, or your, whatever you're driving. Occasionally, a police officer might go through there and see that somebody's parked there with a trailer and the boat's out in the lake somewhere, and they may just write them a little citation, say, you need to go down because there's a sign that says this is a permitted ramp.
All right,
And you have to pay $20 a year and come down and pay your $20 annual for your permit.
I understand, I'm not in objection to your,
Yeah.
but how do you, if I pull in there, who do I pay?
City Hall.
Huh?
You
See,
put
You
out-
gotta have a sticker, you gotta have a
You get a
sticker.
sticker on your.
You buy, it like at the state park, you buy it,
Okay,
you,
okay.
same thing.
But I buy a sticker,
Mhm.
you don't buy a sticker, and your boat, pickup and your trailer sit down there at the park, and you've launched your boat, who's gonna collect?
Well, that's what I'm saying, and hey, ever since I've been on this board, I'm gonna say this, and I know everybody's busting their gut to find and get something, but, and it's good to look down the road, and everything's well planned, but we've gotta crawl before we can walk, and we get bracing out and all this stuff like we are now, and nothing ever gets done. You know, let's concentrate on something we can crawl and do now, and get it done without all this, I'm not picking on you, Sammy, I just don't think that's gonna work.
What, the permit or the?
The
boat
permit,
ramp?
I
Oh.
mean, permit, I'm not, I'm gonna.
Well, it's just a suggestion, I'm just
Yeah,
looking at.
no, well, I
what
think that'd be
how
something,
we
we
gonna-
don't have,
Let me-
it's kinda like Rocky
okay,
Point, we don't
okay,
have the
okay.
people to do all that.
What do you mean we don't have the people?
I'm just talking about, it's like Rocky Point was grown up and all that, and you know, we don't, we're gonna pay $4,000 or $5,000 to clean it up, and, what for? I mean, the city, they get in that shape, the city can't maintain it
At Lake
anyway.
of the, unless they changed it, the last time I launched my boat at Lake of the Pines, they have a box
Yeah,
and you pull off an envelope and stick your money in it, and
Okay.
then you pull off a little piece of it and you put it on your dash or whatever.
Yeah.
Now, they have somebody that comes by and does that.
and checks all that.
Have we not had discussions in the last 2 or 3 meetings that we want the police department to patrol
The
that
park.
park on a regular basis?
Well, yeah,
Why
I
can't they
missed
do
the last
it?
meeting,
We
but-
got enough police officers to staff Dallas County.
okay.
Yeah,
Well, I was
you're
saying, we just need to
arranging-
concentrate on something strong.
We're ranging a little far afield here.
Well,
Yeah,
no,
well,
I don't,
this is
I disagree
policy
with
and
that
it's
statement,
supposed to be,
Carl.
you
I
know,
mean,
dealt with at the council, I just put it out. there
obviously,
as
the
a-
users of the boat ramp should have to pay a fee if we're going to expend money for it. I am 100% in support of that.
Let's get it fixed.
But
Right now, it's not worth paying for.
So what is the next step?
Well, let me ask you
What has to be
this.
done
Do you,
to,
I put in a call to Weldon Lilly, and I'm gonna talk to him first. To see
who?
if he
I'm not
can
even
help.
well,
To our county commissioner
Okay,
for precinct, to see if they would still be willing to do the match, you know, just come over here and tear all that stuff out. That's That's where we've got to go. We can show that that's the 30, 50,000, whatever match. And then we've got the grant and we can hire somebody, a good contractor that's bonded and insured and in this business to
Well,
put in
yeah,
a new.
I'm not sure he can legally do that, but I understand that's why you called him to do that.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know that he can legally do it
I don't
either.
think
But I
he
have
can.
a suggestion.
Well, if he used our equipment though, the city.
No, maybe, you don't wanna do that anymore. What if somebody gets hurt on it? We got insurance coverage, or what if our equipment up, he's gonna pay for it? He's got the equipment.
Well, Weldon has, they do make a point of helping the cities out in various projects.
Yeah, it's gonna make
And
it
we've,
not legal.
we've done other work down at the city park where the county has assisted with equipment and people to run their equipment. So,
Do you think the county has the equipment or the expertise to come in and do a, what'd you call it, a berm?
coffer
A
dam?
coffer dam?
No.
Okay.
There
neither
you
do
go,
I.
that's what I'm
Okay.
talking about.
I have a suggestion.
But that doesn't mean that they can't, pull out,
Well, it doesn't mean
Concrete
they
chunks.
can't contribute, but
yeah,
Yeah.
but they're not,
I
They can't do
have
the
a
whole thing.
suggestion.
you're recognized.
We probably need to figure out how much the EDC's actually spent. But my next suggestion is to expedite this whole thing. We need to get some bids on what it would take to do this project, to finish this project, to get it going.
well, and that's the next step. We have an engineering firm who's done a proposal, and then they will go out and take bids on that.
But
Which means that we spend money for
But
this
what-
engineering firm,
Yeah.
which is probably exorbitant.
And all the engineering's been done.
Huh?
The
All the
majority of the
engineering's
engineering has been
it's already
done.
been done,
Okay.
so all we
And
need to
this
do.
is who?
KSA.
ASA.
It's already been done.
KSA?
Yeah.
So, okay, so,
Hey, I remember, I'm sorry, but just a second, I remember in one of the meetings that I attended before I was here, is that, did we not pay $20,000 to have KSA do a engineering study of that?
No.
Not an engineering study, but to engineer it and come up with an RFP and,
okay,
Right.
so if the EDC just went ahead and put the $50,000 or matched the whole amount to get it off the ground, what would we have to do? What would be the next step?
KSA would have to publish the document for bids.
And then we could get started, right?
And then we would have to evaluate, they would evaluate the bids, they'd come to us with a recommendation, and, we
The
could.
Or
EDC
they go
has
to
the money.
council. I mean,
Well, the EDC has the money to fund that, but my next question is, can we legally fund it? Because it doesn't, there are no jobs that we will be responsible for in this project.
Yeah, it brings people to the city, though.
But we've funded it so
Yeah,
far.
you know.
Park projects are approved.
I'm just asking a question. Is it
They,
legal for the EDC to
They
put
can
money in this
stop
project?
and put gas in their boats.
You're
put
shaking
gas
your
in
head,
their
Mike,
car.
what's the deal?
Hmm?
We're kicking the can.
No, go ahead, I'll go ahead and stick it right, I was listening.
Well, if we were to come up with the balance of the match, then what we would do then is just hire the professional,
To do it.
whoever does the bid, to tear it out and put it
Exactly.
back in.
What did we use the contributions to this project so far? What was that for? Was it part of the engineering study, or what was it? What,
It's just been sitting there for
Just in
the,
the bank.
Well,
it's just sitting in the bank.
we, there, we
We
have
paid all the
received,
engineering.
yeah, we've received some engineering services. We had to pay for that. That was a bill that we owed, so.
is there
Part of
any
which gets
further
reimbursed.
expenditure to KSA that would be required?
The bid
Or are we-
process and then their,
A little.
Yeah.
There's some on-site supervision that they will do to make sure that the contractor is performing in compliance with the document.
Does that come out of the grant money?
Yes.
That's that part of that,
Yes.
what's left of the match. That 50, whatever is left of the match.
40,000.
Yeah,
or all of it, all of the above?
We pay the first 50 of expenses, whether it's engineering
Okay.
cost or concrete.
Whatever that
or
is.
Boards or
Okay.
whatever.
So-
And then once we put our $50 in, then the state gives us, or when we incur more cost up to 200, they pay 150,000 or
Okay.
up to 150,000.
So that's what I'm saying, is if we went ahead and ponied up our money,
We already did 20, right?
I think so.
So we need 30 more.
So if we ponied up the,
Not necessarily, because we can do contributions in kind.
I know.
Yes.
We can tear down that old wooden thing.
we
That's-
could tear down that.
Can
that
KSA
have to
tell
be-
us,
What the value of it?
yeah, and what we can do? In other words,
Um,
if they're gonna.
You can't do it that way. They can't say, okay, we're gonna charge 50,000 to take down the old pier. Or 5,000 to, to take down the old pier. There's a different way, and it's of figuring our cost. We can't say, well, it was gonna cost them 5,000 to do it, we'll do it, and you give us 5,000. No, we have to go, okay, we had 13 people, who worked for a total of,
Right. X number of hours.
95 million hours, and we used the backhoe from the city and blah, 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 and you price those out,
Right.
Now,
and,
all
think
of
the
that
state
has to
has
be
a scale.
completed before you can go on and get your bid?
no, absolutely not, no. The bid can be put out
I
soon.
can call them tomorrow when you pull the trigger on it.
Well,
Well, go ahead, Bridget.
my question is, I haven't heard anybody say, what have we spent the money on so far?
Well, it's just sitting there.
Engineering. Well, I
Okay,
mean, the-
so it is there.
It is there.
Untouched. In
Yes.
the bank.
It's ready, yeah.
Is it inclusive in our funds right here
Yes.
now?
No, it went, the money was
It
put
went in the
to the
park
general
fund
fund,
or
yeah,
whatever.
It went in the park fund.
or the general fund, but the money has been expended for engineering up to this point, because
But
they had
it
to do all
is,
the
it
design.
is
and-
pigeonholed for our, part of that match fund.
yeah.
Have those funds been used by the city for something
That's what I
else?
want to find out.
Does the city have, if we pull the trigger on this, does the city have $10,000 that we gave them to the general fund to
Well, I
say,
thought you just said
here,
20,000.
here's the money back?
Which end is it, 10 or is it 20?
We don't know.
Gotta look.
We gotta look at the budget.
I would like to see this item, I would like to see a motion to table this item.
I'll make a
With,
motion
whoa, whoa,
to
whoa,
table
whoa,
it
let me
till next
finish,
month.
let me finish. I would like to see a motion to table this item to the March meeting, but I would also like a representative of KSA in here that is versed on what we need to do, and,
We also need to know if the city's got that stuck at that bank.
and to see if the city, if the city's not able to give us our $10,000 back right now, we can't pull the trigger, guys, unless we wanna fund 40,000 or
I
whatever.
thought, well, they're supposed to have 20, that's like
Well,
possible
they-
20.
The continuation of that is, if they don't have it,
Where do you
how are
go?
we gonna get it back?
I would also like, I lost my train of thought. We need a KSA representative here. We need to know if the city's got the money to start this, so we can,
Okay, so at this point, we don't know if we've donated 10 or 20,000. I would like to also get accounting of what we have actually spent to KSA in the engineering. What money out of that 20,000 has already been spent, or 10, or whatever it was that we put in there.
guys, there's some issues here on this. Oh, I know what it was. I would like to make sure that the grant is still available, and I understand this is coming from the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department. I've been on this board for almost 2 years. Is the grant still out there?
It is.
You're definitely, you're sure, you're positive?
Yes.
Good.
The
We can
wheels-
cross one
the
hurdle
wheels
tonight.
of government turn very, very slow.
One big holdup was the last government shutdown that happened, what, a year or two ago. We're still in the process, we're in the process of getting approval through the US Fish and Wildlife. Well, the government shut down. Nothing went through, and so then we had to wait on that ball to clear, and it did. Finally.
I would like to see the motion based on our concerns and table it till next month.
I'll make the motion.
Table.
I'll make the motion that we table. We table this particular agenda item until we can find out, get the accounting of what the economic development has actually contributed at this point, what has been spent so far on this particular project with KSA Engineering, and we would like to have a KSA Engineering, whether it's Chris Saylor or whoever could come speak to the economic development next March, next month.
Can I interject
Yes.
one thing? I would like for the police department to drive through the park at least one time a day and do a survey of how many boats or pickups are down there using that facility.
I'll circle down there, something like this, because there's not many.
Except for Friday evenings.
Do what's that?
Except for Friday evenings when
And
they have the
Saturday.
bass tournament.
Now, I realize that right now is not the optimal time to probably go fishing, but within the next 3 to 4 weeks, when the temperature starts changing, the
Friday
fishing
night-
activity will.
Friday night fishing is in full swing, and
Really?
I probably saw 3 or 4 boats on the lake today. Not-
That's where my
Well, I'll
husband
say
is.
that while I drink my coffee.
I plead on that, but,
My husband's fishing right
I would
now.
still like to know how many boats are
Sure.
down there, and I don't think it's out of the question to get the police department to slide by and just tell us how many boats are down there, whatever time they go through, and the date and the time of day.
And Mitch, you brought up a good question. Can we get a legal opinion as to whether that is part of our function to fund that?
Parks are.
Parks are, she says, okay?
Yeah, we already did it twice. We're pretty sure.
Okay,
So.
we have a motion.
Second.
I second.
All those?
Aye.
Pass. I guess item number 6 is adjournment.
Yeah.
Hear a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Okay. Second?
Second.
All vote? We're out of here.
I do have a question.
Okay.
Someone approached me who's interested in doing some development also within the city, you know,
What type of development?
can't say.
Oh, okay.
Can't say, don't want to say, because you know.
At what
We've
point
adjourned
in
now.
life can you tell?
Can you legally talk about that?
No, I just
since
need to
we've
know what the
adjourned?
procedure is.
Oh.
I'm not gonna tell you anything about it, you know, but,
Then what's your, I don't understand what your question is. What-
What
Like-
does that person need to do?
yeah, I guess that's my question.
Come to the board.
I guess.
Come to the board, okay.
Next month?
But I'm sure you would want to do that in an executive session, because you wouldn't want someone else stealing all their good ideas and jumping ahead of them.
Then we need to schedule an executive session next month with your contact there.
That's something I want to do next time.
Yes, your phone didn't fit in a little thing.
Hey, Devin, is there a way we can get a copy of that grant and see it?
Get you a copy of the contract.
I'm just curious, I'd like to see it.
We probably still have the grant application around, if you want to see the grant application.
Did the city make any decision on the property, school property?
No.
Yeah,
Did it?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
yeah. It will be deeded to our charter schools once they obtain their 503C.
Oh, who did it to who?
Lone Star Charter School.
How many tickets do you want? Rich, they're the same price as last year. Everything else is going up but this.
We'll have a bologna
Victor,
station.
you know,
Just don't have a bologna station.
Mary,
Round station.
not at 2 o'clock.